Today on the show, we've got Richard Reid from Reid Homes. We've had a fabulous discussion. This was really exciting for me. You guys know that this is right up my alley because it's real estate, and more real estate. Join Richard and I as we talk about his fabulous career over the last 60 plus years, 3 generations, what it takes to work with family, what it takes to deal with government red tape, what it takes to develop a whole subdivision, and all his experiences throughout that time process. You guys, if you're interested in getting into this business, you need to hear this, so I hope you enjoy. Let's go. Richard Reid from Reid Homes. Let's just jump right in.
Good morning.
And we appreciate you coming. Mm-hmm. So, Richard.
Glad to be here.
Good. And, I know you got a lot of cameras on you, so just forget about those cameras, okay? If you're ugly, and you can't help that,
That's right.
So, Richard, so tell us a little bit about Reid Homes and tell us about the background of Reid Homes,
right,
where it started, and we're going to go all the way up to where we are now.
Sure.
And, of course, I've read about Melvin, your father. Melville, your father. And it started in 1949.
9? Yes.
Okay, 1949. So let's start right there.
So my dad was one of 5 boys. Came down from Kincardine Township.
Yeah.
And the farm wasn't big enough for everybody, and he had a fondness for carpentry. He was always building all the carpentry work around their farm. So he came down to Toronto to get a job in
How many kids?
There was 5 boys and a girl.
Okay.
So anyway, he goes down to Toronto to get a job, and they said, if you're not in the union, don't stop here. So they sent him off. Then he worked in the coal plant in Dofasco for a short while.
Yeah.
But he was such a hard worker, the other people there didn't look good with him doing more work, so they let him go. Then he comes to Guelph, and he starts working for a builder who's fixing the dormers on the University of Guelph.
Can you remember the name of the builder?
It might come to me later.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so then...
And the U of G at that time was like out of town. Like it was like
that's right. Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
So he was up there working on these dormers, but then he wanted to be his own guy. So he built a house on Forest Crescent, was the first one he did. And he hand mixed the concrete for the foundation and had a little gas engine that ran his table saw outside when he did his work. And later 2 brothers come down, but not yet. My dad was working on his own at that point.
So tell me, how much experience did he have up until that point of building homes?
To that point, he really hadn't built any houses. And obviously he didn't need Terry on and all those fancy things then. So, but he basically learned it as he went. But he was always quite interested in reading books and, cutting rafters and all those kinds of things.
Did he have? Do you think, like in retrospect, did he have more of like an engineer's mindset?
No, because he didn't finish school.
Okay.
I think he got grade 7 or 8, barely.
Yeah.
But he was a farm boy, hardworking, and
it's just amazing because a lot of people wouldn't, attempt installing their own hardwood floor on their own, and this guy's mixing his own concrete for a foundation.
Yes,
so it's pretty ballsy when you think about it.
Yeah.
How old would he have been?
In 49, born in 21. Helped me out, 26 or 7.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he found my mother in Guelph, and they got married. Along comes my brother Ray, and then myself, and then my sister.
So when he built that house on Forest, did he build it to sell it, or did he build it for himself?
No, built it to sell it.
And then can you remember how much he sold it for?
I wish I knew.
Right?
I know the house we grew up on in Summit Crescent that he built that we sold when I was 12 in 1962.
Okay.
Sold it for $9,000.
Wow. I know. I'm curious about the margins too, right? What he would have put into it versus what he sold it for.
Yeah, I wish I knew. But, he was a good builder, but he was more interested in building good product. And he worked in Reid and Lang eventually with a guy called Bill Lang. Yeah. And he basically was selling the product too cheap.
Okay.
So he finished his career.
Yeah.
Lots of good reputation with houses he built all over Guelph, but he didn't finish up doing real well.
Okay. So when your dad, was your dad a builder, like from that point for the remainder of his career?
Yeah. From 1949, and then he just kept growing.
And he built, like he would have built infill lots? Or
No, he did subdivisions.
He did?
Yeah.
By the time he was done, or kind of mid-career? Or?
I would say mid-career. And then they did custom rural building as well. But he did Stevenson Street and some of those areas, Knightswood, both sides of the street. Bought the land, and of course land was peanuts.
Yeah.
When he built the house I moved out of at age 12, the lots were $275, and he thought it was absolute robbery. They were 80-foot wide lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have bought all of them.
Oh, I know.
So tell me then, with him in the like, was his company called Reid Homes? Or like,
no, it was called Reid and Lang in those days.
Reid and Lang.
So then his two brothers come down from the farm and joined him.
Yeah.
So there was Melville, my dad.
Yeah.
Then along comes George Reid.
Yeah.
Then along comes Albert Reid.
Okay.
So as time moves forward, all of us cousins couldn't efficiently work together. So George Reid branched off with his son Orrin.
Yeah.
And ended up with Reid Heritage Homes. Albert's son and Albert worked together, and is Carson Reid Homes.
Oh, okay. Because that was funny. That was my next question. Because
Right.
I'm like, you have all these Reids.
Yeah, it's
how
so
are they
confusing.
all in the building? Yeah, like,
and we're all completely independent. So
yes. Yeah, and I mean, so then those were all your cousins almost,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Well, I guess they were, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
like Orrin Reid would have been your cousin or your
Orrin Reid
uncle?
was a double first cousin. So in other words, two guys off the farm married two sisters down here.
Yeah.
So
That's how it worked.
Yeah.
Because would he be older than you?
Orrin was a year and a half younger,
Oh, he was.
and he passed away at age 48.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you have Carson Reid Homes.
Yeah.
Now, is
Carson's-
there any other Reid Homes?
no other Reid entities?
So Reid Homes, Carson Reid Homes, and Reid's Heritage.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for your dad, Reid and Lang, right? How big of a builder was he on a yearly basis when he was kind of at his height? Like, how many homes would he have been building? And was he making money?
He wasn't making a lot of money. And my dad was building his own windows.
Like in the shop on Dufferin Street.
Yeah.
Building their own cupboards, which is totally inefficient, and trying to customize kitchens with nice finishes. They didn't have the equipment for that, but they turned out really good work.
Yes. So, but it would be a variety of homes. Like you're talking about homes on Elizabeth, like in the ward, and then you're talking.
He didn't
about
build
like
any in the ward on
estate
Elizabeth.
homes.
It was always like Knightswood, Speedville, those areas.
Yeah. Okay.
Then South Guelph, College Ave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you growing up, right, when you're in the builder's trade, like, I mean, people look at you guys and be like, oh, the Reids, there's so much money there and all this stuff, right? And I mean, I know from being in real estate too, right? They always talk about commissions and all that, but when you're outside looking in, it's a different story.
Right.
But with your dad, like, was that still there? Like, people are like, oh, his dad's a builder, and
I don't remember that so much.
like, did Reid Homes and then Reid Heritage and then Carson Reid, they're obviously competing with each other.
As I say it, we're cousins, hunting buddies, and competitors.
Yes, right.
Right.
So then, like, would Reid's Heritage been bigger than your dad, or was your dad?
Reid's Heritage was bigger than me.
Yeah.
Bigger than Reid Homes. I kept it kind of small, easy on the overhead.
Yeah.
And walked instead of ran.
So when you started looking towards the building trade, right?
Yeah. So how it really worked is, I didn't do very well in school, so I started working for Pateen Building Supplies.
What? They've been around for that long?
I know they have, and I was hand bombing drywall for a year. Then finally, my dad, I was slow growing up. My dad wasn't ready to see me work on the job. Then I went and worked on the job with a framing crew.
Yeah.
Did that for 4 years. Then I had my own crew.
Yeah.
Still working exclusively for my brother and my dad under Reid Homes.
Yeah. What's your brother's name?
Raymond.
Raymond.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Good.
But he's quite quite retired from construction. He wasn't so fond of building. So great marketer. He would market the houses and then hired another builder to build them, whereas I always did the sales and the building.
Yeah.
Like I worked in Rockwood over here,
Yeah.
and did 140 houses there,
Yeah.
and did all the toe-to-toe sales myself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then I calculated how many trips that was out from where I live in Puslinch out to Rockwood on the model homes and make appointments.
You get sick of, what do you go, 34 in the Gulf Line or something? Or,
yeah.
And how many homes was that here in Rockwood?
140.
Wow. That's so that's what we call the Ridge, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right. So yeah, because that would be like Coker, Salmon Drive,
Yeah. So yeah.
Gagnon, Drenters, stuff like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So for you too, like when I look at real estate and my dad, I hated it. Like I can remember thinking like, oh man, he's always on the phone, and then even at a party, like when he was not working, he was working.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And he
stepping
would
out, use the phone, and everybody else sitting there waiting.
Correct.
For him to come back.
Or if somebody wanted to buy and sell at the party, he's coming home with a number.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm always like, geez, always real estate all the time. And it wasn't like a mixture. It was always like the business was intertwined with your whole life.
Yeah.
And
and my life was a bit like that too, because obviously people are going to look at houses on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so I got to be in my model home Saturday and Sunday afternoons, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it's a commitment.
Yes, it is.
Interesting, a little side note. So instead of spending money on newspaper and advertising in Rockwood, I buy 10 Mennonite buggies.
Yes.
10 horses.
I remember that.
And I'm in Milton, running all over Milton with these horses and buggies. I had 10 capable drivers who took good care of the horses. And I sold houses with that.
Yeah.
And, at a budget of 140 times 3,000 or 4,000 for advertising,
Yeah.
I mean, this was efficient and cheaper.
So you had horse buggies, because you're right, because a lot of people, it's funny, because when we sell here in the Rockwood area, there's a lot of people like, typically the majority of people are coming from Milton or Brampton. And that's it. You get the odd, one-off moving up or from Guelph or from Mississauga, but the majority of people that we find Brampton, Milton area.
Yes.
So that's smart. Did you see that somewhere else?
No. I just thought I'd like to try it, and it worked very well.
And did you see the effectiveness of it? Like, did you?
Oh, yeah. Well, when people come in, that's the only reason they got there.
Yeah.
And they like my style. They bought a house and down to the next one. Yeah.
I always found, like, with print stuff, because we would, like, when I first started selling, we would always have, the Guelph Mercury, and they would always have, always had to get the ad in the paper a certain amount of time. And I was always curious of how effective that was. And then when social media and everything came along, that was something that I jumped on really early. And I was shocked at how much action you can just get from that.
Yeah, and that's a bit foreign to me. I wasn't into that.
Yeah,
and I'm still not. But it's good you are.
Well, and I like the idea of the horse and buggy. I mean, it might be hard the cost might be a little bit more money now, but even the idea of driving around, like even your live by the lake transit van, right? Like those are great. Like you could pay somebody all day to drive around, and you'd always see it.
So what I have now is a team of very pretty Belgian horses.
Yes,
and I got a very nice carriage from the U.S. And so my hobby is going around Guelph, and everybody in Guelph knows these horses. And I have a sign on the back that displays. In fact, I'll send you a picture of that. Yeah, it displays my stuff there and Live by the Lake.
I got to see that.
Yeah, so I go through Walmart, and I mean, people are crawling up to see these horses, and they're quite tame, quite safe, well insured, no problems. And then I have a helper because I'm not able to harness them all myself. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So then you're the framer. You had your own crew, and then what happened?
Well, my brother and I are working together, and he was really dealing with most of the administrative stuff.
Yeah.
But I was the building super for rural houses like out where you live and all over the countryside. So I quit framing, took my best guy as a foreman for the framing, and continued on framing our own houses. However, I was out around the job sites and then ordering the trades and material.
Okay. And then do you find, so you're with your dad, right? How long were you working side by side with your dad?
I never really worked on the job. He was always, in administration, and I was working on his jobs with his crew leader, which is where I learned to frame. But I would see him every day.
Yeah.
And interestingly, he gave me a house to frame, and it was challenging for me. And he gave me one of his other guys who didn't know very much, and he thought that's good for Richard because I have to do the thinking.
Yeah.
So I built a house on Flanders Road in Guelph.
Yeah.
And he calculated the height of the ridge.
Okay.
And I was out 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And he made me tear the roof off and do it again just to teach me a lesson.
Holy crap.
Which was embarrassing because other framers on the street see Richard pulling the house apart,
Yeah.
But it was, and honestly, whether the ridge was 1.5 inches high or low,
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, but according to his calculations.
Well, and then that's too. You're like stick framing those roofs. There's no trusses or anything.
No,
right?
that's right. Cutting the rafters.
Yeah.
And it was a hip roof too, or a cottage roof with hip rafters. So
yeah,
it was challenging.
So when did you did you have a good relationship with your dad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, real good. He was a bit tough, but
yeah,
he wanted it done this way.
And then when you kind of came in, you go, like usually, the younger generation comes in and says, hey, like, why don't we do this and why don't we do this? And there's some degree of dad already trying that stuff, and then some degree of the new stuff coming in.
What really happened is my dad wouldn't change with the times.
Okay.
My brother and I wanted to move along. So we basically sadly sent him home and paid him far more to go home.
Oh, you did?
And so then he went into mink ranching on Laird Road.
Really?
And had a big mink ranch there for years. In fact, we're just dismantling the buildings now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, no, that was his.
How many mink did he have?
He pelted 6,000 at the top end.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I worked for Paul and Lynn Parkinson when I was in like high school and university.
Yeah.
And they have a place up in Brucedale, 5th line in Highway 24 in that area. And Lynn would have her mink. And we would do the farming, so we would be driving the tractor.
Yeah.
Mainly for me, it was like rock picking and rolling, right?
Yeah.
But I always used to say I was the best rock picker in Wellington County.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And but then when we had days off, they would try to push us towards the mink.
Yeah.
And I always used to call in sick because I was like, I'd get flea bites, right? We'd be changing pen faces and I'd get flea bites and they would stink and they're vicious. Like you would have a work glove, you could have a work glove hanging by or your hand hanging by the cage and they'd be biting it.
Right.
Right?
Not letting go.
Yeah. So I always hated those things,
Yeah.
But
I was never fond of them either. It wasn't really my forte, but of course as a kid, it was if you're gonna eat, you're gonna work.
Yeah, well, there was a great business for a long time with those, right? Mm-hmm. And I was always kind of like when they had the top pelt, right?
Yes.
And they would go to the auction, they would find the top pelt, and I said, so like, what's a coat with the top pelt? Well, it was a little deceiving because they would make the coat that would have a top pelt in it, but the whole coat wouldn't be from top pelt. But they would be able to advertise the top pelt. So it was like, it's an interesting business that way. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah. So then with you and your brother, you guys took over. Your dad wouldn't really change, and you're like, okay, Dad.
Yeah, this way it should be.
How old do you think he was?
I think he was 55.
Yeah, and then you just paid him and then send him home.
Yeah, and he was a little bit grumpy for a while, but after a while he could see that was the right way to go.
Yeah,
he was overhead crazy. You know, we need a truck for this. We need a siding crew. We'd rather sub it out to somebody and then keep track of our costs. So.
Yeah, and that was the new way of doing it, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, even from the kitchen cabinets.
He was building windows and cabinets. Made no sense at all. We go to Pollard Windows, get a much better product
for cheaper.
Yeah.
Right.
But of course, back in those days, there was no Pollard Windows. There was not many window manufacturers. So he was slow to change, but yeah.
Okay. So then when you and your brother took over, okay, and then you guys are 50-50 partners?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the business plan? What was the thought about that business? Like you had the name, right, which is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to have that as established history, but then what happens there? Like you guys are like, okay, we are gonna double the business. We're gonna focus on quality. We're gonna, how did you distinguish yourself too from your competitor cousins and hunting buddies?
Well, there wasn't a big difference, but I mean, we're in a subdivision here in Cambridge, for example, and they're in another subdivision. So there wasn't a whole lot of competing.
Yeah, but competing on land and
Yeah, that wasn't a problem. And back in those days, we were buying a lot at a time from the developers. So developed a relationship, and then we didn't have much money, so we'll take this lot. But as long as we take 12 lots a year, keep the deal alive, so that you keep lots coming for us, and we were able to make that work.
yeah, and then for you. You like in terms of the houses that you were building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you do? I mean, I've seen your house. Okay, so would you do estate homes out in the country?
We did both, but we did a lot of first home buyer stuff as our careers went forward. So at first we were doing rural custom,
yeah,
and then we got into subdivision, first home and second home buyer stuff. Like we did all of Courtright Road. In
your opinion, for first time, like the first time buyers or the custom,
mm-hmm.
right? Mm-hmm. Would you say that there's more money in like the first time or the average people versus the custom?
With the custom, it's hard to get a volume.
Yeah.
You're doing one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
So bigger margin, but less widgets.
Yes. So you might do a few of those a year, but you focus on what you could sell quicker.
And then eventually we got into doing just subdivision.
Yeah.
Like our townhouses.
So I always looked at the progression of builders and I see you guys doing it, where you'd have like a developer, right? Like in Rockwood here, you had Seton, and then you had different builders. You'd have the developer, and then different builders. I want this street. I want this street. I want this.
Oh yeah,
street.
yeah.
And then you guys kind of all of a sudden started to transform, and then buy your own properties.
Yeah, we got big enough that we could do that, and
yes.
made enough money so we could win, and we were the only act in the subdivision.
Yes, right. So like to me, I mean, it's brilliant. But I like even my dad talks about it. It's like it was almost like all of a sudden now the builder got to a certain point, and they're like,
That's exactly
we don't need
right.
the developer anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, how did you find that?
Even on our site at Live by the Lake.
Yeah.
We bought it raw, did all our servicing and ourselves.
So did you find, like when I look at land development, to me, I look at that and think that's exciting, right?
Yeah.
The building side, but the development, okay, you've got this raw piece of land, right?
Yeah.
Agricultural zoned within the city limits. We've got to rezone it. We've got to submit a plan of subdivision. We've got to work with the town to be able to figure out how many lots, how much parkland, what's our frontage. Like, was that exciting for you? Or?
I preferred the construction and the building once we got through that process.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I found the administration with the developing side to be.
Who did your brother like that?
My brother liked that.
Yeah.
But honestly, he kind of retired from the building a few years back, so I don't know that he serviced. I don't think he serviced any land like I have.
Okay.
But I got a guy named Grant Wharton working for me.
Yeah.
He does it.
Grant Wharton?
Yeah, do you know Grant?
Yeah. He does customs too, right?
Yeah. And he does my stuff.
Yeah.
And he's running his own show, so he does custom and then does my stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you got a good guy there.
Oh, I know.
Right?
Exceptional. But he's good with walking through the city with approvals and keeping track of all that stuff.
Well, and I guess that would be the key, right? Because like a lot of the times with all that stuff, you're having your surveyors and your planners going through all that for you, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, did you find would you find the margins on the land development versus the margins on the house building a little bit nicer, or?
Yeah, the margins when you develop were significant.
Yeah.
Compared to construction.
Right.
On a per door basis.
And then and you could you buy the construction company buys the lots
from one pocket, the other pocket.
Yeah, that's cool. And then I guess where did Nathan kind of come in?
So Nathan and I worked together from when he was 23 and he's now 45.
So was he did he do the framing? Like, was
yes,
he?
Yes, he did some framing.
Or
but
did he get kicked out of school?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So he follows in your footsteps in terms of the framing,
Yeah.
And then he jumps on board here as well, right?
Yeah, but he never did run his own crew. He wouldn't be able to cut a roof.
Okay. So then, but I mean, he's got his own unique set of skills because it's the new generation coming in.
That's
right?
exactly right. Yeah.
So were you a little bit more open to having him come in with his ideas than your dad was?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you and Nathan, you work together well.
We get along fantastic, but he's decided to be a farmer.
Yeah. No, I know.
So he's put up 60,000 bales, and he ships a tractor trailer load of bales
Florida or something, right?
to south over the border.
Yeah.
And just loves it. So follow your heart.
Yeah, and I agree. What would you say that Nathan's biggest asset was? What point in time were you holy shit, he's got this?
Yeah. Just very determined, and whatever vision he had, follow it, and it worked. Much like the farming. I mean, who wants to go from a builder to being a farmer?
Nobody.
But it's working very well for him.
Right.
And he enjoys it. He works with his sons, my grandson. So yeah.
So then, so with that, like, was there something that you can like vividly remember? Like, okay, he's like, Dad, I want to get into stack towns, or we should start doing this, or like anything that he kind of contributed to the business.
Well, we did those decisions jointly, and the land that we bought was zoned for the town, so that's how we ended up there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So he jumped on. I mean, and I guess too that's something to say, like, you know, about schooling and all that stuff, because some people, like, I remember growing up and there was, you know, this hyper focus. So I'm 41, okay?
Yeah.
And the hyper focus, like university, and if you weren't
going university,
and if you weren't going to university and
right.
doing a master's, you know, as far as everybody else was concerned,
right.
you know, you were going to be a low life and or you're going to be unsuccessful. And I always look back and there's so much that has happened now, like, you know, like you have electricians making more than doctors.
Yeah.
You know, you've got HVAC guys and plumbers and some of those guys, like I have friends of mine that have electrical companies and plumbing companies, and I'm shocked. Like and even me when I'm looking, I'm like, you're gonna do what? You're gonna get into plumbing?
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to kind of see that where like now you don't need to get into.
So when I was in high school doing very poorly in math, I hated.
Yeah.
So I'm in first class after lunch. I'm in a class run by Critch. That's the teacher's name.
Yeah.
So I was always messing around, and I made a deal with him. He was always sending me to the office. I said, tell you what, I'll sit at the back of the class. Let me put my head down and rest. I won't bother anybody else. Please don't keep sending me to the office. So when I left school, he was sure I wasn't going anywhere in life. 2 years later, I'm framing his house.
Yeah.
He walks in to see his new house. He looks up, and I'm walking around on the walls.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. It's funny because I can remember with the teachers she says, like, if you don't give us a hard time, I'll pass you.
Okay.
And it was like, you know, grade 9 French when you know, like all you need to do is pass grade 9 French, right? And you could go, you know, because it's funny. I went to university, and when I always look back, I always think I'd be a lot further ahead. As soon as I got out of high school, I got into real estate. And I wouldn't have had the maturity, you know, to do that, but I'm sure it would have developed.
Following your dad, though.
That's right.
Yep.
And you know, I kind of just got into real estate on a whim where, you know, I'm sitting around playing video games and my dad says, you know, why don't you get your real estate license and I can guarantee you're going to make $50,000 this year, right? And I thought, well, like I had nothing else to do, so I got the real estate license and I kind of expedited it because I wasn't really working, and that's it. But I never really thought, like, you know, for the first 5 years, I thought I'm just going to do this for a little bit and then I'm going to find something else. Yep. And then you kind of say, holy, you know what? We can really do well here and we can really make a career.
And it's exciting.
And that's exactly
meeting
it.
people and all that.
Yeah. And the cool thing too is over the years, much like your teacher, you know, people take you seriously.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now you're the expert in your field, which is kind of really neat.
A good feeling.
Yeah.
So I have this line I tell some kids: don't let school stand in the road of your education.
Yes. That's a good. Don't let school stand in the way of your education. Yeah. I like that. You could put that on a T-shirt. So then, for you guys have, well, I guess so in terms of development, right? You went from detached homes, right, and then all of a sudden everybody's pushing density.
That's right.
Right. So then you guys had a transition to townhouses, I'd imagine, and then condos, or
so. Our first townhouse project was Woodlawn Road, building the same product we are now by the fields there.
Okay.
So before that, it was all
Detached.
well. The street around the corner, we did $1.25 million, single family.
Yeah.
Because I bought that whole subdivision. Norma Crescent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but this is easy to do.
Yeah.
Especially when Grant's running the show, and there's not any customizing. I mean, here's the house.
Yeah.
Design it what most people would like.
Yeah.
But we're not moving walls.
Yeah.
Whereas on Norma Crescent, we're doing whatever you want.
That's right. But so the stacked units too, like in terms of profitability on the stacked units, are they? I mean, you got 4 units where you would have 1, right? So do you find the margin on those are a little bit healthier?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And the province wants more density, right?
That's right. So it works good for everybody.
Yeah.
And one of the things I did on Woodlawn Road, I put brick on the outside.
Yeah.
And then I decided on this site to put on stone.
Yeah.
Cost a few more bucks, but it looks very nice.
It looks
presents
sharp.
very well.
It looks sharp. Like you have the stone mixed with the siding with the cedar shake look
Yep.
up at the top. Like it looks nice.
Yeah.
So then when you're doing the stacked towns, would you focus just on those if you were keep on going
Yeah, if I was buying more land, that's what I would do, is focus on those.
Yeah.
It's lucrative. It's now that I'm semi-retired.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to sit back and watch, others build them.
I'm shocked.
I don't have to be as involved.
When I go into those units, I'm shocked at the actual size. Right? Because you don't think they're going to be as spacious as they are.
Well, nobody sells 1,300 square feet for $560,000.
Yeah. No, I know.
I mean, I don't care where you go. That's a lot of footage. The price is similar to lots of South End stuff, but they're 600 square feet.
Yeah.
And a multi-floor.
And I would agree. And I think one of the things I do like about that subdivision is you're kind of insulated, right? Like the towns on Victoria Road, right, are right on the road, which is a real busy road, right?
Yeah.
Especially you're going north. Everybody's hitting Highway 6 to Ferguson, Elora.
Yeah.
But with the Live by the Lake, you come right around. You have the park right there in front of the development, and then on the other side of the development, you have Guelph Lake Sports Fields, and then beyond that, Guelph Lake and their trails and all that.
Right.
So you can take those trails all the way downtown to the boathouse,
that's right. Yeah.
if you had the energy.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things I liked about that, and I noticed there was it wasn't out like even if you look at the Stack Town development out by Walmart off Highway 6 and the cemetery there, those ones are you're coming in and out off one of the busiest roads.
Right.
In Guelph.
Right. And you're looking at the roof of Walmart.
Correct. So that's one of the things I like about that. So if someone's a little more outdoorsy, your units would work out perfect for them.
And if you've got a pet, it's not getting hit on a busy street.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, even if it does run out, right?
Right.
So tell us about the development process. So what we hear in the news, everybody talking about, development charges are high, or timing to build is like really, really long.
The red tape nowadays is unbelievable compared to even 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they keep raising the development charges. For example, the development charges for all the balance of the foundations I have in, we had all our stuff submitted before the deadline.
Yeah.
Which would have been last March.
Yeah. Deadline to have like a rebate, right?
Well, it was going to cost $1.1 million if we had it in on time. We did.
Yeah.
The city didn't do anything. They dragged their feet. And we're getting close to the deadline, and I'm panicking because it's going up nearly $1 million on 50 units.
Holy.
Okay. So I go down to the city hall, go up to the 3rd floor, talk to the person that looks after it. He's working from home. When will he be in? He'll be in tomorrow. I go back. Very courteous.
Yeah.
He was a very nice guy. He said, well, we're just swamped. I said, listen, the difference between now and a week from now on the approval is past the deadline. I need you to commit that I don't have to worry about the increase because it just has to go on top of the price.
Yeah.
So anyway, he committed. I said, well, please send me an email so I got something to rest on. And we skinned through. But we had all our stuff done.
Well, it's funny because I was talking to the mayor here, and they were talking about a traffic light for MTO.
Yeah.
And it took 8 years to get a traffic light in. And he said, I remember one point it was a Friday, and the guy said, everything looks good, Chris. I'll talk to you on Monday. And he's like, you just give us a call. So he gave him a call on Monday. The guy had retired, and he wasn't there. And so now he had to go
Start
through
over.
yeah. Right. So with the development charges, what do you think is the biggest hang up? So what would change the pro? Like I guess let me clarify. So for everybody out there listening, the development charges are municipal.
Correct.
Right? And they typically go on a per door basis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So is there a standard fee per door?
Yes.
That the city of Guelph is
I don't
charging?
remember exactly what it was, but 25,000 plus per door.
Okay.
So people have to make mortgage payments on that for a long time.
Yeah.
And we hope the city spends it wisely, but I tell you, I sometimes wonder, and it's a lot of money for people. And the soft costs, which is what that is one of, are
Like what are the
north
other
of 100,000
per unit?
Yeah.
Per door. What are the other costs you're looking at?
So hydro,
Yeah.
underground hydro in that case. I mean, people still pay for their hydro, but up front they want a lot of money.
Do you put that in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. When you develop, we do all that.
Yeah, and the sewers.
Yeah.
Right.
And the inspections.
Yeah.
And for example, when we do a foundation, there's, believe it or not, 8 inspections before we start framing.
Holy.
It's just very challenging to coordinate, and it slows the project down. So we don't commit to finishing very quickly.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to buy one that's not built, we'll give them a long date and then bring it back as per the Terrion guidelines.
Yes. So, I mean, and Terrions came in since you've started the process as well, right?
Right. Like the Terrion on this next 50 foundations was $1.5 million divided by 50.
So you're paying that much for your Terrion warranty. Yep. You're paying your lot levies or your development charges, and then all the services, right? How long would something like that take? So to live by the lake, just the towns, not Norma or anything like that, but just those towns, from start to finish, what are you looking at?
To get those approvals, 3 years.
Holy. And then you start building.
That's right.
So
now we've already passed that, so we're free to go now because we've done all that. But I mean, from the time we submitted our drawings and got the approvals, and the engineer has to size the sewers and all that.
Yeah.
3 years goes by.
So do you think there's a way that they could expedite that?
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
In the U.S.,
yeah,
they have it already in 90 days. And they don't charge all of these ridiculous fees.
Well, because they're getting tax money from that as well, right?
Right.
So I always kind of looked at that and thought, you're putting in curbs, you're putting in sidewalks, and then all of a sudden you get to the lot charges, but then the time it takes to do that. So like if there's any carrying costs for loans on land and all that, that has to
letters of credit and all of that stuff to
right?
back up, because they got you 6 ways to Sunday, which is okay.
Yeah.
They got to make sure a builder's going to pay his bills.
Yeah. So and it's funny you look at the U.S. because I've seen we were down in Naples, and Mattamy Homes is down there building homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're building homes there. They're building homes in
Calgary.
Yeah, and it's also in like Arizona.
Yeah.
Right. And the time like when I've seen my in-laws have a townhouse development. They bought one, and when I see how quick they like, it's concrete block,
right? But
you can be there 1 week, and then the next week the whole thing's already like, it's not like framing and then I'm shocked at how quick it goes.
15 years ago, Woods Company wanted to buy a factory here and build it, and it was going to take I don't know how long, ridiculous. So Mr. Woods goes down to the States, to Ohio, talks to them, and he wanted to build this factory in a cornfield. The guy says, we'll have a building permit out in 30 days. We'll move it forward, and in 90 days you'll be ready to start your construction.
Yeah.
It's just a difference in mindset.
Well, and how many workers, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and the city here stands in the road of,
Yeah.
it's so hard to get people to
It is.
respond.
But even for little things like I've had clients of mine for like legal apartments and things like that.
Yeah.
You have one inspector that tells you to do one thing, right? You have a list of 5 things to do.
Yep.
You call to get it inspected. You have another totally different inspector that comes in who notices 5 more things. And then, it's so difficult. I find the bureaucracy on that really, really holds things up.
I look forward to retiring for that very reason.
Do you?
Because the difference from when I was younger to now, it's exponential.
Is it?
Yeah.
And the cost,
Yeah. It's all costs.
right?
Money, tying up money.
So when you hear, it is a big thing, like politicians talking about red tape. Okay.
Mhm.
Do you honestly believe that is going to get fixed?
No.
Me neither.
No.
Right?
And they're not getting a better house.
Yeah.
I mean, as time moved forward, they realized, more insulation, more soundproofing, and so on. And I'm very in favor of all of those things.
Yeah.
But that's part of the building code. So all you got to do is build by the building code. But all these inspections, and you go to the city with your plan, and they find a few things wrong. So you go back, redraw those little things, and then they take forever to approve it the second time.
Yeah. And the liability on them to approve it, the time is so long.
But
right?
they don't care.
No.
'Cause, they sit with it for a while because everybody needs to keep their job.
Yeah.
One of the things that happened with these townhouses, which I was very in favor of, the building code changed. So when you walk up the stairs now, the rise and run of the stair is much easier to climb than it was in previous builds before 2025.
Okay.
So the newest building permits, which is what we're going now.
So they had before it's like a 7.5 inch rise.
No, it was an 8-inch rise and I think a 9-inch run.
Yeah.
Now they've dropped the rise, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but the run and the rise, but it's distinctly different if you
Yeah.
climb the old stairs.
So it's just a little easier.
very much so, yeah.
Why do you think they
Especially
did that?
when you get my age. Oh, just because of less accidents, and
Yeah.
from the builder side of it, it chews up more footage. And we had to change our plans and the bedroom configurations to accommodate that, because when you expand the stairway,
Yeah.
the rise and run, and with the headroom, you need to have.
Is there any building code regulation that you find absolutely ridiculous?
Well, they they could weed a lot of things out.
Mm-hmm.
They could weed a lot of things out.
And you think I always kind of look at it maybe they take it out of the hands of the municipality and
Privatize it,
yeah,
which is what they do in Australia. You pay an insurance fee, and they bond you.
Yes.
And if there's a problem, the builder is responsible to the insurance company.
That's right.
I mean, Terrion is $800 a door.
Yeah.
And what do you get for that? Not much.
No.
And yeah.
Because normally, if there are unless it's a major foundational issue, a lot of times the builder comes back and fixes it, right?
That's right. Right.
So I
But again, the cost of doing with the government Terrion compared to privatizing it
Yeah.
with an insurance company,
yeah.
the purchaser is going to get the same assurance, because
Yes.
the builder's not building anymore if he doesn't honor those commitments. So.
That's right.
But anyway, I don't think.
Well, it's all insurance, right? Then you have title insurance,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's I always kind of look at ways maybe you leave it up to the county or to the province, or
Right.
you're right, and then or even privatize it, and then that way it gets a little quicker. Then the city doesn't have that whole department anymore, and they can go, right?
Yeah, but that's the problem.
Yeah,
They don't want to go.
They don't want to go. So
Who at the city's going to say, "I'm caught up now. I'm going to go home."
yeah. All right, so let's go here. Cost to construction. Okay, that's one of the biggest things that we see now with builders. Okay, where a lot of builders are saying, "Okay, I spent X for the lot.
Mm-hmm.
I spent X for the development charges, X for my Terrium warranty. I've got HST, which is something we'll talk about in a second.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now we've got all these building costs have gone through the roof. Right. So if you have your trades guys, right, the guys that you were hiring out that your dad didn't want to,
Yeah.
those guys now have all inflated prices. So by the time you build the product with the way the market is right now, you'd be losing money. Like, do you see that at all? Like I see builders right now are holding off, and they're actually not building
for sure.
the products because they just
which is what I'm doing on those walkout basements across the way. So I wouldn't build them and lose money.
Yeah.
I just sit with them until the market says, or people buy them and move ahead.
Till the market kind of rebounds.
Right.
But there's no, other than, with the development charges, like what'll happen eventually, the market will settle itself out, right? Like
I think so.
If it's,
I think across the border uncertainty has created concerns for people, and they just don't want to move ahead.
And that's what I look at too, because for a while, I would have clients, and the interest rates would drop a quarter point or a half point, and they'd be like, "All right, bring them in," right? And it didn't happen. And now, like, rates went from 6.9% to 3.69,
right?
And the market went down.
Yeah, because of this uncertainty, I guess, and job
right?
security.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was HST. So I always, when we always used to deal with new builds, the HST was the rebate was always forfeited. You guys would remit any
right.
HST rebate.
The purchaser signs a document that allows us to collect the rebate. So
that's right.
We don't raise the price and then they get it and bring it down. We bring it right off the price.
That's right.
Initially.
So then, now would you guys get a full rebate on that? So then, basically,
it's about $18,000 on one of these houses.
So it would be a wash, essentially.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So then, when the government's talking about, like when they come with this new idea and says, no HST on new homes for first-time buyers, right? Under $1 million. Does that have any effect?
Well, the sad thing is they say they're going to do it. And then people wait and wait and wait until they actually have it documented.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help our market. I mean, they're ready to say nothing about it until they're going to do it.
Yeah. But like right now, it's not. Nothing's been done.
To my knowledge, I don't think so.
Would it have an effect though?
Sure. I mean, if you take $18,000 off the house, it would help a lot.
But if you guys are getting a rebate already on that, does it really? Like, would it really have an effect? Like, if the buyers, buyers, you know what I mean? Like, if the buyer's not paying HST anyways,
right?
And then they say, okay, well, we're going to take HST off for just first-time buyers.
I know what you're saying. It should be a wash.
Yeah. Like, do you think it'll have a big impact? That's what I mean. Or you think
maybe
it's just
not?
Or to me, I think it's lip service.
Smoke.
Yeah. Right. It's like because I'm like, well. Anyways, that was kind of my thoughts. It was like, if it's a first, and I guess that's what we should clarify that too. If it's a primary residence, they can do that, but if it's not a primary residence, they've got to pay the HST.
Yes. If we sell, which is rare, to an investor and they rent.
Yes.
Then they have to pay the HST.
So when you look at, I guess your whole career in its entirety, what's your favorite development?
I would say Rockwood.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It was very lucrative. It was fun.
Yeah.
I was customizing toe-to-toe sales with the people.
Yeah. Did you who developed that?
Charleston. Charlie Kukin.
Charlie, okay. Yeah, because he's still got Noble Ridge up there and a few of the towns, right?
Right.
And it's funny because I've heard reports of you staying late, working late, sleeping in the model home and stuff like that. Is that true?
Right. I never stayed the night there.
No?
I'd always drive home because it was close enough.
Okay.
And I also built in London.
Yeah.
And that was a long drive back and forth, but.
So you never. So just to clarify, you never stayed there.
No, I never stayed there. No.
Oh, okay. Because I can remember they said, Richard Reid was there. I think he was
staying there. They think I'm there all the time.
Well,
I guess because I'm working all day Saturday, all day Sunday.
So you did the sales center on that one. Holy crap!
Yeah, I had an assistant who wrote the deal. I wrote the deals by hand with the offers to purchase, but she worked with me, because if I'm showing a house and other people come in, you can't do a very good service to people if you're trying to be two places.
Yeah.
Because I'd be out showing lots.
Yeah.
They're picking a lot.
Yeah, you got to take your time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So Rockwood would have been just because of how.
Yeah, it was a plum.
Yeah. Is there any? And what would that? Why would that be? Just because of the cost of the lots?
The cost of the lots and the opportunity there, and there was a vacuum. People coming out from Milton.
Yeah, it's a funny market that way, Rockwood.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like people are come here and they're surprised at the price. And it is really like that price point does kind of float on that line.
Yeah.
That's why you'll see houses list a little higher because the previous one. So it's,
My staff was always getting upset with me because I was always raising the price because the market would bear it.
Yeah.
I only had 140 pieces.
Yeah.
So I would keep raising the numbers a bit. And they thought, oh, Richard, you're going to stop the market. It didn't stop.
It didn't stop.
That was just the times then.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
We're not there now.
And is there any house that makes it memorable for you? Like your first house or your, biggest house you ever built or anything like that?
Probably the first house that I moved into myself in 75.
What was the address?
Laird Road.
Laird Road.
Yeah.
Can you remember the house number?
No, it was R6 Guelph then. Now they've got a house number, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, cool. And then for you, so for you with building, you have how many kids did you have?
4
kids.
Yeah.
And then Sarah and her husband Johnny, and that's how we got connected.
Yes.
Sarah, she builds as well, right? Mm-hmm. With Johnny. Mm-hmm. Right. So was there ever a time where Sarah was kind of in the office with you and Nathan, or was it just primarily?
Sarah did at some point work in Cambridge with me in the model home.
Okay.
She wasn't fond of it.
No.
You either got it or you don't got it.
Yeah, but she's really, really good at design.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. They're actually designing a house right now. I gave her 10 acres 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was always anxious for her to build because it's next door to me.
Yeah.
And she said, Dad, I kind of like living. She just loves living in one of these townhouses.
Yeah.
She says, it's so simple, Dad. We go up north, somebody else cuts the grass, only 2 of us.
Yeah.
But anyway, she is going to go ahead and build out in the country. So.
Oh, that's cool. And then so Nathan, you and him are like 50-50 partners.
Yes, that's right.
All right. Mm-hmm. And then is the Live by the Lake here, is this going to be the last development, you think?
Yeah.
And you don't think Nathan will jump back?
I don't think so.
No?
He, like me, is
he'll have a bad harvest.
The administration, yeah.
Do you still have land that you could develop on?
No. But I will tell you, when Nathan was 22, I said, son, build a rental unit every 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, on a go-forward basis. Well, 1 year he built 10. Now he's got 70 houses.
Holy
that he rents. And I'm telling you, after this many years, they're getting paid down very good. He has very aggressive mortgage payments. He's going to have them paid out in less than 5 years.
Wow.
So that's his safety net. So if farming doesn't go the way he wants it, he's still going to eat.
Well, I've never met a farmer that made money.
No, that's right.
Yeah, or like the way the weather.
My
was.
accountant would tell him the same thing,
right? So then, what advice would you give somebody that's
actually
looking to
because of this U.S. market?
Yeah,
he is making good money.
Is he?
American dollars on his loads of hay?
Yes, but isn't the exchange like 38% or something now? Or it's like,
yeah, but he gets paid in American dollars.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's worked out very well for him.
I've had clients over the years do that. They'd take the bales down to Florida, and it was like even paying like logistics to take them down there. It was worthwhile.
So he has something called a bale baron. Have you heard of one of those?
No.
It's a machine that goes behind the baler,
yeah,
and it packs 21 bales in a bundle.
Okay.
It puts a big string around the whole 21.
Yeah.
And that exactly fits in a tractor trailer with a grapple hook.
Yeah.
So that's where the market is. So they go down there in these bundles. When the other end, they cut them open and they feed them by the bale like anybody would.
Yeah.
So, but that's his, and he's got a hay dryer and he's got it all.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I always hate when we worked for Paul Parkinson. There was a guy, Matt Thatcher, and he's got a farm up. He got Thatcher Farms up on the Fifth Line, and when he needed some help, the farmers. The cool thing about the farmers is they would send their guys or their tractors or all this stuff, right? And
Yep.
he'd send us out there, and we'd be up in the haymow stacking these bales, and it's just like you couldn't breathe.
90 degrees.
Yes, and you're just sweating, you know.
Yeah.
And even with tractors, he had Lou Fontanato used to live out by Eden Mills, right?
Yes.
And he's an old hockey player, and he would come and take a tractor. Right, and they would always be pissed off because you'd never fill it full of gas after, you know.
Right.
So, what advice would you give a new guy coming in to build, like they wanted to get started in the building trade? You know, is there any piece of advice?
Well, it's very difficult because you have to have a lot of cash to back up your Terrion, so
Yeah.
you need to be registered with Terrion, or you can pay $5,000 per building permit as a letter of credit and leave that in place. So you can't get much of a volume going if you've got to do that.
Yeah,
And it takes a strong guarantor.
yeah,
So sadly, what it's done is given a monopoly to the builders. Hard
Yes.
for the young guys to get into it.
yeah,
So they then do renovations and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because they can't pull a permit.
okay.
So, but you know, it's been a very exciting career. I've loved it all.
Yeah.
And
you've had developments in like London, Cambridge, Kitchener, Guelph,
yeah,
Rockwood.
yeah.
Where else?
I did build I took on a partner and built down in Sandalwood Parkway in Brampton one time.
Oh wow.
And I did 90 houses down there, but I wasn't hands-on there,
Yeah,
sadly. I didn't lose my shirt, but almost.
yeah.
I churned up a lot of...
The Brampton
work.
market's a little different too.
Oh, yeah. It was a mistake.
Right, and I always find when the market shifts, Brampton's the first to like put the brakes on and stop
Yeah,
purchasing. Right.
Right. So Rockwood is as far east as I've been. London is far west.
Yeah.
And then Kitchener.
Yeah. So so for a new guy coming in, you think if they do little homes or custom homes, like if you were going to start over again, it's a good question. How would you do
it the same way I did now. It'd be a bit more difficult because I'd need to line up a guarantor.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have the money to start out. So I guess I'd probably go with a letter of credit per building permit until I built my credibility with Terrion, and then I could get going. So
Yeah.
Nathan has his own Terrion.
Yeah.
My daughter has her own Terrion.
And what does it cost to maintain that?
You need $250,000 to buy the license.
Really?
Yeah.
And then do you maintain it on a yearly basis, or is it
once you do that and you leave that in place,
Yeah.
then if there's any issues about construction, they dip into that to fix it. If the builder won't.
Yeah.
So if a builder goes bust,
Yeah.
then that's how they solve their problem.
So I got two more questions for. How are we for time?
Almost at an hour.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, two things. I guess, is there anything differently that you would do in your career?
No, I don't think so.
No regrets?
No regrets.
No?
You know, I made more money than I should have, and I eat well, and I've be able to leave something behind for my grandkids. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then secondly, how did you manage all this work, weekends, 4 kids? I grew up in a family with 4 kids.
Yeah, there you
right?
go. Yeah.
And I know there's certain times where, you know, you feel like, okay, I'm being neglected, you know, like how did you manage that? And how did
I just did. I mean, I ended up with a nice place in Muskoka,
Yeah.
another cottage in North Bay, another one in Newfoundland, and it was all because of the hard work.
Yeah.
So it was worth go there on times when I could be available.
Yeah.
And in the summer, of course, the kids can go whenever you want. So
Do you have any regrets in that you might not have been there for the ball games or all that stuff?
No, I don't think so. No, my kids. They entertain themselves, and we're big snowmobilers, and
everybody's still pretty close?
Yeah, very close.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially close now.
And are you close with your other Reid's counterparts?
Yeah. We're not back and forth too much.
Yeah.
But nothing to do with the competitive side.
Yes.
Just, you know.
Well, they must be happy that you're retiring.
Yeah. I actually don't. My volumes are nothing compared to theirs.
Is it? Okay.
And that's the way I like it. I mean, I got 2 people in my office.
Yeah.
And I like that overhead. I've always been very sensitive about overhead, keeping the numbers down. walk, don't run.
Well, because you have the big red or the barn, right? The off the highway by.
That's right, town line and 401.
Yeah.
And
All
that's
right.
been good for us exposure wise, and
Yeah. That's good marketing, right?
yeah, I thought so.
I should convince you to put a billboard up there. You know?
Yeah.
And then okay, well that's interesting. So then the house in Newfoundland you still have?
Yeah.
Where is it?
It's in the middle of nowhere. In other words, I went down one time to a homecoming
Yeah.
from a friend who lived in this little bay 8 miles from the end of the road.
Yeah.
And the government said, okay, we can't provide service to you anymore, so we're going to pay everybody, all the families, to move to where the road is. And I went down, and they had all these fishing boats tied up one beside the other as a celebration.
Yeah.
And I got invited on it. Just fell in love with this place. So I was able to get a permit.
Yeah.
And had to take all of the parts in
Yeah.
on a boat, like rafters, shingles, cupboards, everything. So we started, I took my crew of framers down there. We started on a Sunday, and by the next Sunday when we flew home, we had the cupboards installed and the place painted. 8 guys.
It's not on like it's like whereabouts is it?
Well, it's up the west coast of Newfoundland.
What's the closest town?
Ingley.
Ingley.
And if you ever go to Newfoundland, make sure you get the key.
Yeah.
It is so pristine pretty. Takes an hour and a half by fishing trawler to get out there.
Yeah.
I also have a boat out there. So.
But it's on a separate island other than
No, it's just very remote, no roads to it, no
Oh, so
hydro.
you can't, and it's a community?
Well, Ingley, which is 8 miles away, is a small community fishing village.
And you can drive to Ingley?
Yep.
But your place you can't.
Right. So you can either go by fishing trawler,
Yeah. Or
which
ATV.
my friend, he'll take you out, or can't go by ATV. There's too mountainous.
Ah. So where
So
do
I
you
have a
eat?
guy that
Like,
looks after it for me down there.
Holy.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
But like I mean I've been to Newfoundland on the bike, but there's no basements, right? Or
I don't know.
like
No
it's all
basements.
rock, right?
Yeah.
So you built that house in 2 weekends.
In 1 week from Sunday to Sunday. But we didn't drywall it. We put plywood on the inside
Yeah.
because I didn't want drywall cracks and things down there.
Yeah.
Shifting. But shingled, all done.
Oh, that's
And
interesting.
it's 24 by 48.
Once a year you go up there or what?
Yeah. And I'll go more often when my wife retires.
Yeah.
But the porch right there, I'm 20 feet back from the water's edge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you've had a good career, Richard.
I have had lots of fun.
and it's
Ups
been
and
great
downs.
having you on.
Yeah.
And I love doing these things too because you get some great insight to you, the builder.
Right.
You know how you got started, what the communities you serve.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if would you know how many actual houses that you
I've often wondered, but one year, I'll tell you, I did 90 houses in 90 days. I
Wow.
closed one a day. So what happened was the bridge on the 401 at Town Line,
Yeah.
the Ministry of Transport said no more building permits until we expand the bridge. So therefore, they held the bridge up. So I had all these lots, and I couldn't sell them because I couldn't get building permits.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when they opened the door, I had a pent-up demand. So I said to all my trades, listen, don't let me down. If you want the work, I can write it, but I don't want to be left by not getting them done. So they all wanted the work, and I wouldn't do that again. It was too much stress.
But just think of the communities and the housing. I mean, I guess when you look back, you got to be pretty proud of that.
Oh, very. Yeah.
Aw. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank
Okay,
you
it's
for
been
having
a
me.
great
It's
career.
great. Okay.
And we'll be seeing you down the road, I'm sure.
Looking forward to it.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks, Richard.
Take care.